team. So, some 2v2. Is this Pelennor Fields or is this the Grassy Plains? We'll find out in Pelennor Fields, I think. Yeah. Minas Tirith is over here. Yes, there we go. Nice and foggy. Oh, damn, it's foggy. And I do like it snowy. I really do like snowy Minas Tirith. I mean, we can't really see much of it, but look, it just looks really nice. I like snowy Pelennor Fields too. We will do... yeah, the lack of visibility is going to be a real pain, but we'll see how it goes. This is Stillborn Ranger, so we've got some Inquisitors there, double Wargs, some Gundabad Guard, Trolls of Angmar, Gundabad, Stag of Stalkers, Orc Fellers. And then out front, I'm guessing... Oh wow, quite a solid phalanx, actually, with the Gardens of Carndum and the Witch Realm Pikes. I'm seeing some halberds in the centre, so yeah, 2 pikes, 2 halberds. Oh, no. Okay, so he's going... Pikes concentrated here and halberds spread across that flank. Okay, nice. Usually you'll see, say, halberds in the centre and pikes on the flanks. Or, yeah, it's a bit less often seeing that. Okay, cool. I guess because his right flank, it's sort of, in a way, what he's got. Like, he does have his pikes on the flanks and halberds in the centre. He just has Mirkwood as his ally here. So this is Filler. Who again? I've not seen that name. Mirkwood is always a bold choice, I think, for a new player. If he is a new player, I couldn't say. But no, we'll be excited. Eldercam Palace Guard, that's where we got the general today, so that's solid. Some Hirioth, some Spears of Emenduir, Hirioth and Spears, and then Woodland Realm Patrol out front, laying down stakes, something you've got to be aware of. Huntsman of Ammon, well, I'll explain it in a second. Huntsman of Ammon-like and then Sindar, and some Ents. Then we've got Wardens of Ammon-like and more Elders. Actually, oh no, these Elders over here. He's got the Elven King's Palace Guard, and that's where the General is. Whoopsie daisies. I think I missaid that earlier. But anyway, something to keep in mind is when you place down stakes during the deployment zone, or during the deployment period, your enemy can see that even before you finish deploying. I'm not seeing any here. No. So the opposite side, I was about to say the attackers, but the opposite side have not put down any stakes. But say if we were over here and we were seeing this, we know that they're going to be deploying together because they're right on the deployment zone. We also know generally the position of his army, and because he's put stakes behind him, we know that he's going to be hoping to be on the defensive there. But anyway, we've got our... Again, I almost said attackers. Got MSQ actually here. Don't think... No. MSQ's not sent me this one. I was confused for a second. We've got the Bolgs champions there. The Orc Mangonel. Then some crossbows. Some crossbows out front too. Interesting choice there, I'd say. He's probably going to be wanting to focus fire on Steelbow Rangers forces with those crossbows. Then White Orc Fearmongers there. Black Orcs to the mountains. Halberds. And yeah, a lot of heavy gold infantry. I like his army, but it really, like, he's aiming to bully Angmar. His ally, probably, just call me Vocek, or Vocek. He's got more of a Mirkwood killing armor, we'll see. Arthedain men at arms and the pikes, solid phalanx. And then Evandem spears heavily, oh no, I thought these had received 2 armor upgrades, but I think it's just 1. Double Evandem spears there. Evandem archers behind them, and then some peacekeepers with some dismounted Fornos Erin knights, and that's actually where the general is today. Actually, sorry, no, it's not. He is in amongst the dismounted knights of Minas. A bit more normal. I saw this guy for some reason. This one in particular, I thought he was the general. But I think we'll get into this. Not a lot of cav from both sides here, which is interesting. Okay. Oh dear. Yeah, considering we could have... Well, I guess, sorry. I take that back. Silver Ranger's got a lot of cav, and I don't know if we've got enough. Like, the Bolgs champions will be alright, but, you know, we don't necessarily have anything to bring down that horde of wargs. Mangonel, unfortunately, not landing any hits, but up against this tightly packed formation would be very, very nice. You'd maybe want to go for the Elves. I mean, it's not going to be racking up as many kills as striking the Angmar force, but you'll be hitting arguably higher quality troops. Now, because the red team, I'll describe them as, do not have an artillery piece, and the blue team do not, that is going to put Steelbow Ranger and his ally on the offensive here. Good burn there. That's actually kind of nice. We'll try and maybe... Oh, dear me. Ouch, ouch. This fire is still causing damage. You've got to be careful walking through it. Yeah, so they are in a bit of pain, those poor orcs. And right off the bat, that's actually 2% casualties. That's really unpleasant. But, hey. So unfortunately, it looks like... Oh my goodness me, visibility is just nothing. Visibility is gone here. This is really bad. But no, anyway. And this is something that the players would have had to deal with. So as tough as it is for us, they've got to be working themselves through this as well. But yeah, so they've spread out now. Steelbow Ranger and his ally. But, oh, and of course as well, there's actually a lot of Mirkwood cav. Silly me. And they've actually got on the jump on MSQ here. Jumping through the thick fog, but perhaps I think the Sindar spread out here a bit too much, and the White Orc Fearmongers are going to be riddling them with halberd stabs. They actually broke. Yeah, it was just because there were so many enemies around them. I think the Fearmongers do cause fear. Bolt's champions showing up. That's a shame though. They will come back, but that's a tough loss for Mirkwood there. Really unfortunate. Good charge on the front though. We're probably going to slow it down to say 0.8 just to make sure we don't miss too much in this. MSQ2 has changed his focus now, going for the Elves. Which, as I say, not going to be racking up as many kills, but arguably killing more important units. What have we got running on over here? Some dismounted knights, dismounted Dunedain mounted company. Dear me. Coming on over here. In all honesty, I'd probably keep those very close to my line. The visibility is getting worse, isn't it? The fog is getting worse, and I'm getting lost. I'm lost. There we're back. We've got a mini-map that I'm just having to rely on here. I would probably keep that cav, like, right by me, in all honesty, just to grab the enemy cav and stop them cycle charging. And hopefully, you know, because I just think that those wargs will eat the mounted company and so on for breakfast. But they're approaching, and I just ran right past them. Right, there it is. He's going to go for a flank here, which is going to have to mean that, well, Volchek is going to have to, like, curl his forces around, which is not the end of the world. And it's not the end of the world, really, because Mirkwood's approaching now. So the thing is, if he grabbed this whole army and turned it, this is the worst I've ever seen it. This is absolutely the worst I've ever seen visibility. It must be. Oh, that's unlucky. That's really unlucky for MSQ. You really want them getting air burst, like right above the enemy, not really slamming into them like that. Over here we've got some cav. Orcs champions, yeah, still just sort of chasing away these deer riders. Only a few Sindar left, unfortunately, after all of that shenanigans. That's really, yeah, Filler's been done dirty by those guys, unfortunately. But this is going to be them ripped apart. The Huntsmen are coming on in, but they need to be getting in there fast with a charge if they want to be saving their boys, their superiors there. But yeah, these Inquisitors and Wargs set up really just on the flank of Volchek, and there's no... Oh, the Troll Slayers are there. We need to get a Spearman. We really need to get some of these Evandem Spears running over here. There's no point in having all these spears concentrated there when all of the cavalry is actually behind you. I think we're going to get a... We get a charge. No, not yet. I'd be really tempted to come in for a charge against those peacekeepers myself. I know he'll be micromanaging his army and he's being charged right now. But, yeah. Oh, okay. They inflicted some good casualties and they didn't... They suffered a fair bit for it, but... Yeah, it's just stalkers. It's just stalkers, so you could definitely argue what is the need for it. But I just feel that those cavaliers could be more useful in this position. Now, this Volchek's actually got my favourite position to spawn in Pelennor Fields, because you've got this position just anchor your formation on. Yeah. I'm going to just, because I just think this is really nice and spooky. So I just want to grab a shot of that because it's so foggy, and just these dark horsemen running through the fog, and that's a good charge. We're hoping to get some jabs into them, but it looks like he's jabbing the main line. And Volchek's sort of reluctance to... Yeah, he's not wanted to shift. He's wanting to keep his main force actually looking at Mirkwood. Yeah, they're coming in now, but Is it too late? Like, that's a lot of peacekeepers to lose there and not really gain much for it. Furious now, they're charging out, but they're going to be called back. Men at arms, 1 level of armor upgrade for those guys, so they're a bit more stubborn. No armor piercing damage coming at them. The halberds have got all that. Evan Spears going to be trying to hold back this flank attack. Let's run over and see how Mirkwood is getting on up against the Gobos. A lot of dead elves. Elven King Palace Guard in place. The Ents tearing some people up, especially the poor bodyguard. Not really quite capable of matching them. Some Greenwood Watchers there too. Fearmonger is chasing away these Watchers, but doesn't look like they're going to get them. If we've got any more throwing knives right into their backs is very, very nice. But it looks like Mirkwood kind of came forward with a bit. But it's maybe a bit of a disjointed attack. I know we're shooting at them. But it's, yeah, even though I think this was a tough like matchup for MSQ, I think he did a pretty nice job just sort of because Filler didn't really come forward as one by the looks of things. He had a lot of troops that he held back, and you know, all the while these woodland protectors could have been, or woodland realm patrol could have been set up there just hammering the lines. But the sturdy armor of Moria is something that the goblins can really rely on. I think it's done them wonders today. Huntsman of Ammon Lank showing up here, just interrupting the Snaga skirmishers. That's a good idea. Let's see how the humans are dealing with their adversary Angmar. The main line is faltering. Oh, this is a lot of forces to have like concentrate in one area, and it is allowing Vocek to deal with the others. Yeah, these orc fellas are not going to make much progress up against the pikes. Yeah, a few orc fellas coming in on this side of it too. I'm really sorry about the visibility, guys. Yeah, this is a tough one. What we at percentage-wise? We're actually down. Yeah, 32 for 30, and the balance of power is where it's looking scary. Oh dear, Vocek's boys are getting stabbed into the side there. This is where I really... Oh, it's clearing. The fog is clearing. Fantastic. Yeah, this is where I'd really want to see those pikes getting aggressive and getting those fellers rinsed so that these guys can turn around and deal with what's on their flank. Because with the trolls coming in, this position is going to collapse. Evan Spears stabbing away at those stalkers. Dear enemy. Let's zoom out, see if we've got anything hiding. Oh my goodness me, it's nice and clear and beautiful now, isn't it? Berserkers there smashing in. Now we can really see sort of the devastation that took place. Elders of the Elven King, they're still firing. Okay, so right, MSQ's not getting through this as lightly as I imagined in the beginning. These Palace Guard, he's doing his very best against them, but just the supreme skill and ability of the Palace Guard is a tough thing to overcome. Yeah, all of these wargs and all of these Inquisitors smashing between each other. Of course, the Inquisitors have been sent over by Steelbow Ranger, being fantastic melee cavalry. Oh, and these wargs are Steelbow Rangers as well, too. Yeah, just getting in amongst MSQ's back lines. The boys have just been separated. They were really close to each other at the start of the battle, but this gap between them is being exploited now. And that balance of power is creeping back in toward the centre. As the fog has cleared, it seems to be good stuff for the blue team. These archers not really have been able to use up all of their ammo. They must have gotten through most of it by now. The Evendom archers pulling away. Oh, he's actually managed to reman that mangonel. Not for long, surely, as the wargs, the wargs or the Inquisitors could come in and just silence that. But it doesn't look like he's noticed just yet. If MSQ gets a beautiful blast, maybe it could work. Vocek seems to be trying to fall back and reform, but the cavalry's not going to let him do that. Yeah, the few valiant defenders of Arthedain doing what they can. These Snaga stalkers running away, but they will come back with a unit that size. I think they're running away from the fire, most likely. Pike's just totally surrounded now. Yeah, a little bit too late to get aggressive here, perhaps, as they're getting picked apart. and the trolls are just sort of running riot. But dismounted Fornosteran Knights and the dismounted Knights of Numinous are going to be doing okay at matching these forces. But with Warg Riders cycle charging away, yeah, they've spotted the Mangonel now. Don't think they're going to get another shot off. No, that seems silenced. That's a shame, and that's actually where MSQ2 has got his general. Risky space, but you do see it a fair bit actually. Just so it means you can use everything else in your army very freely, and you're going to be keeping your artillery piece safe anyway, so why not have your general in amongst it? But the fact that MSQ's not got troll drummers, so if we lose the general, the already low morale faction might be curtains for them. We might end up seeing a mass rout. Shaken. No, because they're in this death blob together and they're actually winning their current confrontations, they're doing... Oh, we're seeing a break there. But 53 at this point, 53 heavy goblin infantrymen. That is significant. Wavering there, some more shaken guys, but no, I think they're holding. I think they got through that morale shock not too bad. Yeah, archers just in guard mode, trying to rattle off whatever damage they can and rely on their elite dismounted Knights of Numinous to bring home the victory. Also some men-at-arms here alongside some Evan spears. Looks like even one or two peacekeepers, 18 of them actually, doing what they can. This is not been as clear-cut for Steelbow Rangers as I thought, and that's a big break. That's a really big break. Now this mob can charge forward and backstab that, back up the dismounted Knights of Numinous and Fornosteran. I said it before, I say it a lot of my campaign, my Divide and Conquer campaign right now. I often say Fornosteran. That's just entirely false. I don't know why I say Fornosteran, I just do. But no, it is Fornosteran. And yeah, I can only apologise for it. It just comes out, I'm afraid. But yeah, the dismounted Knights of Numinous doing what they can to slice through this force. And yeah, perhaps keeping those archers just rattling away and just ignoring the cavalry was the best choice for Arthedain. As we continue to stab away at the Gundabad Guard. Still surviving mounted company, keeping these guys on the retreat, and slicing through a few of them. You see a lot more of that on the newer Total War games, actually chasing away routing forces. Of course, people do it in this as well, but it's not something you see as frequently. This shocks me. If you asked me, like, 2 minutes, yeah, if you asked me like 3 minutes ago, like, who the last hold fast of the red team was going to be, I was thinking it would be MSQ, but I mean, he's still got troops on the field. I really thought he had this in the bag over on this end, but a little bit of cavalry manipulation just coming in, and just the absolute god tier abilities of some of these elves has been his end, or been his undoing. He'll reform a bit, but what he does, see what he can do after he reforms. Evendom Archer's actually running away. Looks, if he can just lead those elves in a bit of a wild goose chase just while his infantry wins the day, that could be the best course of action. Some cavalry coming in. They get quite a little charge on those Woodland Realm Patrol. Looks like they accidentally did, and that went pretty well. Had that been all of them, we could have seen a lot of those elves drop. Now that they're battling the Evendom Archers, I'd love to get a backstab into that. Instead, he's gone for a backstab into the Hirioth, and maybe it could have been a better choice. Inquisitors, though, they're still active in the fight with spears and melee cavalry. Not great melee cavalry, but melee cavalry. And the general has thrust himself into the thick of it. He's gotten out of there, but he must have lost a hit point or two there. That was definitely bloody. A lot of spears stabbing at him just there. Okay, reforming from Wojciech. Nice to be able to do that. Nice to have the discipline to get a maneuver like that pulled off during the battle. I've got a bad habit of, like, once the battle really begins, that's it for me. and I'm full fight until either I'm dead or the enemy's dead. I do have a bit of a struggle just taking a breath, stepping back and saying, right, let's gather our forces and see what the best course of action is. I will just go attack, 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 attack. And I fall into some nasty places with that, and it really it's lost me a battle or two. But yeah, we've got a very bloodied Thranduil here, continuing to slice down some goblins. He's getting hit a lot right now though, and he could die from this. A lot of his buddies are there though, and we are no doubt going to get a break soon. Our General of Steelbow Ranger actually met his end. Could have been a knight, but there were some spears in amongst this stuff. One troll of Gundabad crashing away at these malicious spears. They shouldn't last too much longer. Some elves still standing as well. And the unit, the bodyguard of the general, have repaid the death of their general and cut down. Go check. The last Hirioth. I want to maybe keep this cavalry unit mobile. I want to say cavalry unit, cavalier, mobile, but being outnumbered by the Inquisitors is not fun. The elders are still there. Do we have any archers? No, we don't. And there's some orc fellers coming on over. There's some archers, I suppose. Somebody's got to deal with that, because that's a big unit. For this late stage in the game, 71 men is a big unit. But those 40 elders, the fact that we still got mobile cav, no, they've fought well. They've done the best they could here. But no, I just don't see the tools necessary. Oh yeah, backstabbed by the fellers. In the front, the elders. No. Or the palace guard. No, that's them done, I think. One knight remaining. And he's up against palace guard. Wait a second. Oh, it was elders there and palace guard there. Whoopsie daisies. No, but I think that's them. Oh, no way. No way, MSQ. I'm surprised at that. Okay, we'll probably, yeah, we've got the Inquisitors coming in. I don't think they'll get another shot off. Maybe those guys can get off phalanx and sprint down here, but no. Nah, they're not getting another shot off. That's a shame, but I do really respect the spirit. I mean, had they gotten an absolute god tier hit, like let's say they got 2 god tier hits, and one into the elders and killed like 20 elders, one into the palace guard and wiped out like the whole unit palace guard. They still couldn't have done that. I'm surprised. Very well done from that Gundabad troll. What's left? I think is it just those halberds we were looking at earlier. I think this is the last unit. So I mean, MSQ was the last enemy on the field. I wasn't entirely wrong. But yeah, that was interesting. Definitely a tough battle for everybody because of sort of lack of visibility. Everybody did pretty nicely. It would have been very tough. I was saying that Mirkwood's initial attack was a little bit disjointed, but it would be very difficult to actually pull off an attack like that with the lack of visibility that they had going on. You know, they really just would have struggled to see the enemy formation. So perhaps they did the best with what they had. Let's see what Steelbow, or what the information they had available to them. Good stuff from all the cav. You'll always see Angmar wargs racking up some good kills. That's generally the strategy of most people. But apart from that, good stuff from the halberds, good stuff from this guardian unit. The trolls of Gundabad, yeah. That's some nice stuff up against a good solid man faction as Arthedain. And yeah, great. Good stuff from the orc fellers. Kind of disappointed about the mangonel. I'm sure MSQ, well, I'm sure MSQ would have wanted a little bit more from it than what it was capable of, but having the mangonel forced the enemy to come to him. And that's something, you know. If you've got artillery, sometimes it's not so much about you know, getting kills with the arty, it's about making the enemy do something silly, or just forcing the enemy to attack. And that's that's exactly what happened there. You know, had he not brought that, it probably would have come down to the Mirkwood archers, who would have forced him to attack. And because they could just outrange all of the archers that he could bring, all of the archers that Arthedain could bring, and that's probably what they would have done. So sensible enough to take it, but with one of those hits was beautiful. As I say, like 2% of the enemy army just wiped in one hit. So if we could have gotten another few of those early game, I think we could have been on to something. But no, good showing from everybody involved there. If Filler is a new player, I think he did do actually really quite well. But yeah, I just don't recognise the name, I'm afraid. But yeah, no, thank you very much to Steelboat Ranger, and I'll see you later.